But the other story I want to talk about, which really, and I got hold of Ben. Ben will attest to that. I said, this is a big story. Story about dogs dying in Auckland due to a thing called parvovirus. And a warning from the SPCA to be wary of parvovirus, which is a nasty virus which can kill your dog. And as you know, I am a great dog lover, though I do not have a dog at present. And the story piqued my interest. So I thought we should talk to the SPCA who put out the warning, and we are joined now from the SPCA by Dr. Corey Regnerus-Kell. Did I get that right, Corey?
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Did I get that right this time?
Yeah, you did well. Yeah, great to speak to you again. You've been practicing, I see.
Yeah. You don't mind if I call you Corey?
Absolutely.
Okay, Corey. I was concerned at this, and I come from a place where every so often, and I know we've got problems in Wairarapa, Lower Hutt at the moment with stuff in the water that's killing dogs. Tell us about what parvovirus is.
So parvovirus as it kind of is included in the name, it's a virus that is spread between dogs, so it's only spread from dog to dog, and mainly affects our either young or vulnerable animals, so those that either haven't gone through the vaccine series or older dogs who haven't been up to date on the vaccinations to protect them from it. This virus, what it does is it kind of attacks all the really fast dividing cells in the body of the puppies or the adults, and some of our fastest dividing cells actually are those that line our gut, our intestines. Yeah. And it causes them to basically slough off. So they can't absorb any nutrients, they get horrible vomiting and diarrhea,
and they waste.
And they also get very bloody.
And they waste away. Yeah. Sounds like an awful death for any being.
Yeah, nothing that I would like to sign myself up for, that's for sure.
Okay, Corey, what's the average rate of death from parvovirus for dogs normally in New Zealand? How many cases of this would you get? Or what percentage of the dog population die from it?
That's a good question. I don't have the overall numbers, but what I can say is from what we're seeing at the SPCA, the cases that we tend to see that come through with parvovirus are those that haven't been able to seek medical attention early in the piece, or are really struggling to be able to actually pay and afford for veterinary treatment. So the success rate for us probably isn't as great as it would be out in general practice. However, it is a very life-threatening disease. So even with the best veterinary care and intervention, it can have mortality rates of...
How often does a dog need to be... And I know I've got Martin, one of our presenters, Martin Devlin's just got a new pup, and he said, well, we can't go to training and everything until he's got all his shots, so he's not exposed to anything, and he's not going to expose any other dogs to anything. How often do you have to give your dog a parvovirus shot? And presumably it's a vaccine.
It is a vaccine, yeah. So when they're young puppies, they need to go through a full vaccine series. So they get vaccinated basically every 4 to 6 weeks from when they're 8 weeks of age. And you want to get a vaccine series up through either 12 or 16 weeks, depending on the vaccine that the vet's using. And then from there, they get an annual booster or a 3 annual booster, again, depending on how often it is that they're going, or which vaccine they're using.
All right. So, no, I mean, that's a bit of commitment. How much does that cost on average, would you say?
Good question. Again, I'm not working in general practice, so with the SPCA, the animals that we're seeing, we're supporting them from that side, so I wouldn't be able to comment on that one.
So, but rises of parvovirus, of cases of parvovirus are on the rise. Is that because people can't be asked vaccinating their animals, or is there something, and I hate to think this might be the case, has the anti-vax movement had an impact on dog owners?
I don't know that we've got an exact answer of what's causing it, but what I can say is probably that we're seeing a lot of other pressures that are coming through. Cost of living is absolutely impacting what's happening at the SPCA every day. The amount of people that are reaching out to us as well, we're getting almost 6 people a day reaching out to the Auckland SPCA alone, asking for help in order to treat their animals that have this virus, specifically for financial assistance to do so. So it seems to be that the cost of living is probably preventing people from doing what they would see as a voluntary measure of vaccinations, which are actually a really critical core vaccine, just like for our children.
All right, but you're not seeing any impact that it's the anti-vax nutters who might be not taking care of their animals or encouraging other people not to, I don't know, have the jab for their dogs?
I haven't had that one come across my desk yet. No, it does seem to be a genuine issue around people just not actually being able to get in and get the veterinary treatment that they wanted, potentially getting laxated.
Yeah. Once a dog does have parvovirus, is it treatable?
It can be. So it is definitely, there's treatments that can be done, but do they all survive? That goes back to that kind of original question. So it is invasive. They need to be in the hospital with very intensive care, IV fluids, potentially feeding tubes, and a whole raft of medication.